Hello there. Today's lecture is on introductory paragraphs and expository essays. So we have learned about some of the basic elements of expository essays, introductory paragraphs being one of those basic elements. Now let's look deeper into what goes into an introductory paragraph. So an introductory paragraph, to remind you, it's at the beginning of an essay, introduces it. It catches the reader's attention, and it tells the reader what the essay is about. So it also gives the reader any background information that they might need to understand in case the audience that you're writing for doesn't know all of the information they need that you're going to be talking about. So what does an introductory paragraph include? It includes your thesis, which tells what the essay is about. It includes your hook, which gets the reader's attention. And it also includes background information, like I just said. So what I'm going to tell you later, I'll tell you more about the thesis later in another lecture, and I'll tell you more about background information later. Right now, though, what I'll tell you about is hooks, different types of hooks, and some of the different techniques that the pros use. So there's kind of 5 different types of hooks that I want to look at, 5 different kinds. There's the history hook, the anecdote hook, and I'll talk about what each of these means, the surprising statement, the famous person, and the declarative. So let's look at history. What does that mean? If you give a bit of history on the subject, you can hook a reader with that. So here's an example. Let's say that I'm going to write an essay about graphic novels in the classroom. I would give a brief history of comics or what a graphic novel is. So just a little bit of historical information, a little bit of origin information on the topic, just to catch the reader up and get them interested in the idea. Anecdotal. An anecdote is a tiny story. So an anecdotal intro is just a little tiny story, and you don't let it take over your paper. So if I wanted to inform people about how to get started in online multiplayer video games, and I was going to write an essay on that, then maybe I would share a little story, a small story about a really fun experience I had playing games with my friends online. That might catch people's attention, get them a little interested in reading more about it, but it's not going to be a big story that actually takes over the whole story. So keep that short when you're sharing just a tiny anecdote, tiny story. A surprising statement, guess what? A surprising statement is a surprising statement. So it's a surprising statement that has to do with your topic. You don't want to get off topic and just give some random surprising statement. But I'll give you an example. This is from this article here, 60 Seconds I Could Save Your Child, and it was an article about preventing deadly accidents for children. So here's just the intro to that, and it provides a surprising statement. So it says, have a minute? Good, because that may be all it takes to save the life of a child, your child. Accidents kill nearly 8,000 children under age 15 each year, and for every fatality, 42 more children are admitted to hospitals for treatment. Yet such deaths and injuries can be avoided through these easy steps parents can take right now. You don't have a minute to lose. So this introduction gives us a surprising statement. The surprising statement being that accidents kill nearly 8,000 children under age 15 each year, and for every fatality, 42 more children are admitted to hospitals. So we've got this surprising, wow, a lot of kids are injured from accidents. Some of them are killed, and it could only take a minute just to read some of these ideas. So, you know, that's a surprising statement when we think about, okay, I could give up a minute to prevent some of these accidents from happening. Good hook, good intro, especially if you're a parent. So famous person. Famous person hook includes mentioning a famous or historical person that is actually connected to your topic. Again, key point, you want to stay on your topic when you're doing these hooks. So say that I wanted to write about dental hygiene of pirates. Let's make it interesting. And I was going to give a hook. I could mention Johnny Depp. He's famous, right? I could say, Johnny Depp played Captain Jack Sparrow with several gold teeth, because Jack Sparrow had several gold teeth. So Johnny Depp, who played Captain Jack Sparrow with several gold teeth, actually has a couple teeth made of silver in real life. That would be if I were to ever write an essay on the dental hygiene of pirates. That might be an intro that actually has to do with and mentions a famous person and kind of gets some of your interest. So maybe I could get your attention that way. Maybe. A declarative statement, I think this is the last one that I'm going to be talking about. A declarative statement is just telling exactly what you're going to say. This is a tricky one. It's got no surprising statement. It's got no famous person. It's got no anecdote. It's got no history. It's just starting directly with what you are going to say. So this can be challenging, but sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't. But with some practice, you could get better at it. So it is an option of just starting directly with what you're going to say, no hook, and just hoping that someone gets attracted to it just by the topic itself. So in review, the introductory paragraph presents the thesis or the main idea, which I'll talk more about in another lecture. It gives a little background, which I'll talk a little bit as well later. And it hooks and engages the reader. So with those hooks, those types of hooks, we looked at about 5 different types of hooks today. We looked at ones that professionals use when they're writing expository essays or when they're writing essays for magazines for publishing. And we looked at the history or the historical reference, so giving a little bit of history that might intrigue the readers. The anecdotal, or giving a tiny story that just relates some short story, some very short story to the idea and gets someone interested and connected. A surprising statement, which kind of shocks the reader and gets them interested in reading more. A famous person, which could engage people's interest in famous or historical people and connecting that to your topic, or just going on and declaring what your subject is and starting with that and just going right into it and hoping they follow along. So as you practice writing, try out some of these different types of hooks and see what works for you. But just, this is a good time to keep practicing since you're trying different types of expository writing. So give some a shot. Maybe some will work for you. Maybe they won't, but see what does work for you.